What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Force Cult. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Tracy.
Let's talk Star Wars.
All right, so on our first segment today, we are going to be talking about the Rebels shorts that have been coming out. So StarWars.com has been releasing a series of Rebels shorts. So they're going to be canon. They're not going to be part of the show, but they're kind of like little extra glimpses into the characters that we've already started to love from Star Wars Rebels, which will be premiering on Disney XD in October. So Ryan, what did you think about the first short that was released this week?
I really liked it. I watched the first 7 minutes that they played the other day of the show, and I was really pissed off that it seemed to end so quickly because I was really enjoying it. And the short came out, and I really like the relationship that they have. I mean, a lot of people are saying that it reminds them, like, they're all like, oh, that's just a ripoff of, Star Wars Episode 4, and I'm like, well, it's the time period, and that's kind of what they're going for, that you want to get back to that classic feel. And Chopper was really funny and really great, had a lot of emotion, and I didn't really expect that. You're used to R2 having that, dynamic, but I wasn't expecting Chopper to be that memorable, I guess, and funny, and have such attitude. And I liked Hera and Kanan's back and forth. I wasn't expecting at the end it looked like they were about to kiss or have an intimate moment, so that was kind of a shocker. Is that what you thought about it?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that either, but I just have one question. How does it feel to still be like an hour behind me in Rebels?
That's not funny. That's not funny at all, because like everything that happened. So like I don't know. It was upsetting. I watched it and I was like, this is bullshit. Tracy got to see the whole thing, and I get 7 minutes. The 7 minutes felt like 2 minutes. It really did. Because I wasn't expecting it to be so bluntly cut off. I thought it was a specific kind of set thing that they were going to show that had kind of a beginning and an end, but it just stopped right in the middle of the scene, and it was really upsetting. I almost threw something at my computer, So
I was at work that night when they played the first 7 minutes. So question, where did it cut off? I haven't really gathered that from anyone. I don't want to say where I think it cut off because I don't want to like accidentally say something that happens after the cutoff and then like spoil it for anyone. So I haven't really asked yet.
Kanan and Ezra, the whole crew had just stolen cargo from, the Empire, and they were on speeders and they were getting away, and so the TIE fighters were chasing Ezra and Kanan, and Ezra had gotten chased off the road, and his speeder was blown up, and then it was coming back for him, and then it cut off.
Oh, got it. Okay, so it cut off like a really exciting part.
Right, like right as the TIE fighter was coming at Ezra, it just stopped. Like there was nothing. It just cut. Like the feed was cut. It was like, there you go, Star Wars Rebels. I was like, thanks. Like
a total dick move.
Yeah, it was. I was really upset.
Yeah, I just think it's cool that they're giving us so much about the characters. Like, I mean, I've already been telling people that Chopper is my new favorite just because I love his temper tantrums, and I think I talked about that on the last show. Like, I love how grumpy he is. Like, I love that someone on Twitter, and it made me laugh really hard, was like, I feel like if we knew what Chopper was saying, it wouldn't be PG. And I laughed because I'm like, that's so true. Like, he's so grouchy, and you feel like he's like...
Yeah, I mean, people have said that about R2 before. There's been little memes like, they had to bleep, that his bleeps were because he was cussing, but I think Chopper is way more R-rated than R2 would be. He just seems that way. Like you said, he seems more grumpy and kind of like sarcastic,
I like when his his little like wrenches come out of the side and he like waves them around and freaks out.
Yeah.
When that happened at the screening, I was cracking up. I was like, that's awesome. It's the best like little freak out. It's so cute.
What do you think about Kanan and Hera getting it on a little bit? Like, I mean, it seems like there's some tension there, obviously, but I didn't expect that.
Yeah, see, I don't know where that's going because I I feel like that's been alluded to a couple times, and I'm about halfway through A New Dawn, so I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I feel like they're kind of like hinting at it, but I just don't know how far they're really going to take that, especially like in the books and stuff. I mean, I guess I'll have a better perspective when I finish A New Dawn, but I don't know. There's definitely like an attraction and a chemistry there. But I don't know. I mean, it's Star Wars, so they're always pretty. The romance, I guess, with the exception of like Padme and Anakin, the romance is always kind of like either drawn out or like subtle, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I like it being subtle, especially with what's going on. Like, I don't. It seems kind of ridiculous for this to be all this action and like drama happening. Where it's they're fighting for their lives, but then it focuses on like this love and romance. It's ridiculous to me. So I like it being subtle. But I don't want it to drive me crazy either, though. Like, I was a major X-Files fan, and the whole Mulder and Scully romance thing that they drug on like forever, like drove everybody crazy. Like, they kept having these moments, you're like, oh my god, are they finally gonna, and it just never, it just drove me crazy. So
I wouldn't know. I've never seen X-Files.
Oh my fucking god, you've never seen X-Files? It's like one of the best TV series ever.
I know. I wasn't allowed to watch it because my parents were worried that I would have nightmares. I don't think my parents ever gave me credit for like how weird of a kid I was. Like, I don't think that would have given me nightmares. I think I would have probably loved it. But
well, the X-Files, all of it's on Netflix. So if you have a long time to watch a series, you need to watch it. But it was really dark. It was very serious. There were some little funny moments, but it was pretty hardcore sometimes. When I was younger, it did scare me some, but I still loved the show, so definitely go watch that and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I hope that they blend a little romance just to make it a little bit more relatable to people, not take it completely out, but I think that it would work with them.
Yeah, I think so too. Their personalities, I guess, 'cause they're both like in charge, and they seem to be fighting for the same thing, so it makes sense. But okay, so anyways, moving on. Well, I feel like the week started out light with episode 7 stuff, and then all of a sudden just like blew up in our faces. Like, it seemed like we were kind of like, maybe they're tightening up and we're not getting so much. And then all of a sudden we have like more set photos. We have what's presumed to be shots from inside the Millennium Falcon. You have like the Dejarik table and the cockpit and like corridors and everything. And then the Force for Change when it was announced, and the little like letter was being held by a robotic hand. So, I mean, I looked at it. I didn't immediately think that it was Luke's hand until other people started saying that on Twitter, which makes a lot of sense. And then, what other news did we have? We had something else really big. Ryan, help me out. What am I forgetting? Oh, so, I mean, I guess this wasn't that recent. It's been a thing, but a lot of people are looking at pictures of Mark Hamill, and I think the first place I came across it was Latino Review talking about how Luke's contractually obligated beard, or Mark's contractually obligated beard, is all scruffy, and that suggests that maybe Luke's in captivity in episode 7, or just like not in a good spot. So it's been fueling this rumor that basically the plot of episode 7 is going to be trying to save Luke somehow. Which, I'm not going to lie, I'm not, like, super warm to that idea. But, I mean, a lot of people seem to be supporting it. A lot of people are making some pretty educated speculations. I just feel like that's the buzz, and that seems to be the consensus. That, like, John Boyega and Daisy Ridley's characters are going to somehow, like, unite and go on this quest across the galaxy with Han Solo's help and try to save Luke. That seems to be, like, a narrative that's going around.
I don't know. I mean, I know that it started out, that when the rumor first came out, a lot of people were like, that's fucked up. No, there's no way that's going to happen, or I don't want to see that, and whatever. And, then there was speculation because they were like, oh, he looks so scruffy with his beard. That must mean that he's been held captive. And, but like, that's ridiculous for one thing. Just because he looks kind of scruffy, that just means he's fucking casual. It doesn't mean that he's still in his character and costume and the way his hair's done from the movie, unless he's actually shooting.
No, because he said that, like, the scruff was contractually obligated. And if you look at, the people that are talking, like, saying it, like, the guy at Latino Review even said that he did a lot of research on like how, you know, Jedis are portrayed in the movies. Like Jedis aren't portrayed as like scraggly. You know what I mean? Even look at Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was like a hermit, but his hair wasn't like all over the place. That just doesn't fit with how Star Wars looks. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I thought Obi-Wan looked pretty raggedy. I mean,
No, his beard is never like his beard was never like all over the place the way his is. Like Luke looks tore or Luke. I keep saying Luke as if like that's the person. Mark Hamill looks tore up. I think the speculation's pretty they're making some good speculation. I mean, there's pictures of him on set and or like right in front of the set and he looks scraggly. He doesn't look like he has his shit together.
what if the wind was blowing? Come on. The wind could have been blowing, blew his hair up, and it was all scraggly.
No, it's not the wind. Oh my God.
There it is again.
It's probably just wind, honey.
It's not the wind.
I think that you're just in denial. Like, you don't want to believe this, but it makes a lot of sense.
Maybe Luke is gone somewhere, but maybe he just, you know, said, fuck it, I'm out, and he's away for some reason, whether he's on a spirit quest or whatever, and he's just not, you know, keeping himself or his groomed that much because he's off by himself doing some sort of Jedi spirit quest, right? I don't know if he's captured and they're holding him in something and they've got to go rescue him. I'm not really sure. I don't know if he's got to be rescued or they're just going on a quest to find him, maybe, to try to get him back or what. I don't know. Because, I mean, it did end on some pretty fucked up news for him. So, you know what I mean?
I mean, but there's so many people that would want to be after one of the only Jedi. Like, because he kind of, like, came out of the Force closet and was like, hey, everyone, I'm a Jedi. And, you know, like, a lot of stuff just got revealed, and the Empire is probably in a pretty shitty state right now because, you know, Palpatine's dead and
Right.
Darth Vader's dead, and their second attempt at this, like, mass weapon got blown up because of the involvement of one of the only Jedi around. So if we have Inquisitors and all these other, you know, kind of villains appearing, it makes sense that Luke would be like a target of that. Or a target of, you know, a lot of people. So I don't know. When I first came across that, I was like, holy shit, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, maybe he's in hiding. Maybe he's not captured.
Well, you really think that that's a better plot, that he's in hiding? That doesn't make sense.
Not hiding like, oh, I'm scared, just more like regrouping. And I don't know. This is why I hate plot speculation, because it just makes everybody mad and nobody's going to know until the movie comes out. And even if it is a plot that everybody thinks is stupid, the movie could come out and it could be awesome. So
Right, but we're making a Star Wars video show, so
I know
we're
that.
speculating.
I know that, but you're getting mad at me for like, you're like, but do you really think that would be a better, like, no, I don't. I'm just saying multiple options here. You shoot them down, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess I just don't know. I don't know what to think. I'm super on board. I think that I could be wrong. You could be right. The whole internet could be wrong. And Ryan could be right. And maybe Luke isn't in captivity in some way, shape, or form. But I just don't. I don't know. You can put all the evidence in my face, and I could see the movie, and this could be the thing. But the whole like hand in space thing just, I don't know. It just doesn't sound likely to me. That doesn't seem like a strong opening. And so far, J.J. Abrams and everything that we've seen from the sets, everything's been so perfect. So I don't know. I just don't buy it.
Well, maybe something's being left out. Maybe that's just a part of something, and it's not just like this soul floating hand. I don't know. I mean,
It just seems like a very weak story mechanism to be like, oh, so we're opening and Luke's, you know, hand is floating through space with a lightsaber. And then, you know, Daisy Ridley and John Boyega are like on some outer rim planet and pick it up and go on a quest to save, you know, figure out what it is. Or I don't know. It just seems so strange. And I don't know. I'm just not buying it.
when I first heard that there was going to be a hand floating through space, my mind, okay, instead of going like getting mad, I immediately thought of Luke's hand floating through space, but the lightsaber was on and the hand's tumbling, and there's like TIE fighters trying to shoot the hand, and the lightsaber keeps deflecting them, and it's like hitting all the TIE fighters. And I was like, that is awesome. Let's have Luke's hand just be destroying a bunch of TIE fighters in the beginning of the movie. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I don't even know what to say to
I
that.
think so. No? Okay. I just thought that would be funny. Just because the whole idea was funny, so that's what I immediately thought, is just a hand tumbling through space with a lightsaber, like deflecting a whole bunch of shots. It's okay, we can move on. But yeah, the card that had the picture that they just released, of the mech hand or whatever, it to me it just looked like a droid hand. I didn't really think of Luke Sky, his hand at first. I just thought droid.
Yeah, I didn't really think that at first either, but it makes a lot of sense. But we're moving on because I don't know what just happened with our speculation segment.
I am good at speculation.
You are not good
at discount what I say. Watch when the movie opens and there's like a hand flying through space with a lightsaber and it's deflecting shit.
Oh my god, all of that is problematic for a lot of reasons.
And then there's also a ship behind him, like an X-wing, and it's being piloted by an Ewok. I get I have inside sources.
You have inside sources, really?
I do. I know I just trust me. Just watch when it comes out.
Oh my god. Inside sources, doesn't mean the voices in your head, right? That's not what we mean by inside sources.
Technically, it could be.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Your dog isn't an inside source.
That's what I'm hoping for, okay? I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a severed hand in a lightsaber battle in space and an Ewok in an X-wing helping him out.
Ryan's, super credible inside sources. They're, his action figures.
Remember, me and JJ are like this.
Right, so, clearly.
Yeah.
Oh, so horrible. I don't think we have any viewers anymore. I think everyone just unsubscribed. We haven't even put the episode up yet. We're still filming it, and they're like, nope, that's bullshit.
No, I think there's people out there that are like, he's got a fucking point. He sounds like he knows what's going on.
No one's thinking that.
Someone's got to be out there saying that, right? I can't be the only one.
No one's saying that.
Okay, all right. Well,
fine. Someone might be on board with the Ewok piloting an X-wing. I'm sure you've got someone on your side with that one. I'll give you that.
But if there's a severed hand, there could have been enough force, in his hand, to wield the lightsaber and just keep it going.
No, it's getting worse. Just stop. Okay.
Okay, all right. Spinoffs.
Spinoffs. We don't mean
Yes.
Luke's hand spinning off into space. Jesus. Okay, so we thought it'd be fun to talk about, since we haven't really discussed spinoff news that much on our show, we thought it'd be interesting to talk about what spinoffs Ryan and I would like to see. So I feel like there's been a lot of talk about a Yoda spinoff. I think that was the first real announcement, was that there's probably going to be a Yoda spinoff, that there's going to be Boba Fett, and then there's going to be Han Solo. So who else, would you really like to see a spinoff film? If they were, came to you and they were like, Ryan, you can have anyone direct a film, a spinoff, you can have anyone you want to write a spinoff, and you can have whatever character you want. What would you be your ideal Star Wars spinoff film? And I'm scared to hear your answer after the last segment.
It's not Jedi Ewoks, I promise. I don't know. It's hard. I have to say Yoda would be cool, but I think young Yoda, there was a picture that I found. I posted on Twitter, and people were like, that's awesome. There's an artist, I'm probably going to murder his name, but it's Marco Teixeira or something like that. And he did this photo of a young, Yoda Jedi warrior, and it looked really awesome. I've never seen Yoda portrayed that way, and it was really cool. And a lot of people seem to be stunned by the sight of it, too. So I like the idea of that. Boba Fett, I really don't care about at this point. If they made a movie about him that was really awesome in his life, then I might care about Boba Fett. But as for now, his 5 lines, I don't care. He might as well be a background character. Han Solo would be cool, but I would actually really like to see a Stormtrooper movie. And Stormtroopers are kind of a joke, nowadays, with all the memes and little videos going around that they're just kind of clumsy and stupid and they can't shoot and all that stuff. But in reality, they're soldiers, and I'd like to see a Stormtrooper movie that's serious, that revolves around maybe a group of them or something, maybe like a Platoon type movie where they're kind of, at war, and it shows their lives, and they're kind of struggling with the them kind of catching on to like, is this really right what we're doing, or like the Empire and all that type of stuff. I think that would be really cool to see a film like that where it deals with their families and that kind of thing. I think that would be really cool. Because I haven't heard anybody talk about anything like that. So
well, I think that the Clone Wars was awesome because we got to see, I guess, the clones humanized. Like, that was really interesting, and, the voice acting was so perfect. And I think the Wolf Pack was actually probably my favorite part of the Clone Wars. Like, those episodes, the episodes that centered around, those Clone Troopers was actually my favorite. Those were my favorite, like, story arcs. So
yeah, I mean, but I wouldn't want the show to be clone troopers. I would want them to be the human, recruits.
Yeah.
So definitely way different than the Clone Wars. I don't want it to be part of that at all.
You want it to
I'd
be
want
after.
it to be a lot more, a lot more focused, and the time period obviously be different. But yeah, I think I'd like to see I'd like to see some really good drama with how they deal with being a stormtrooper and how they feel about the Empire and the rebels and all that type of stuff. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I could see that.
What about you?
Let's see. I mean, I would really like to see a Princess Leia backstory just because, I don't know, for some reason I've never really been interested in Yoda's backstory. That sounds bad, but I'm just not. And I feel like I am really loyal to sort of the expanded universe backstory of Han. So I'm going to be kind of sad to see that erased in the films because actually the A.C. Crispin Han Solo trilogy was probably, those were my favorite expanded universe books. They were one of the first books that I came across and read when I was young and came across the expanded universe. And I just really, really liked those stories. I really liked the characters. I think his, love interest in them was Bria. I really liked her. But yeah, I just really, I would really like to see Leia's backstory. I always want to see more of Alderaan. I think Alderaan's just, an interesting planet. And I would just like to see her kind of growing up. So it would be cool if we got, the comic miniseries and a film about her, but I just don't think... I mean, unfortunately, Hollywood just is so reluctant to have, female-led movies. I mean, Wonder Woman can't get her own movie. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. Elektra was, a abomination of a movie. The movie was horrible. People just can't get it right, so I don't know that that'll ever happen, which makes me sad because that would make me really happy.
I mean, it seems like you're right. It's hard to believe that it would come in a live action film. I think that if they do a Leia backstory, it would probably be in an animated show or something.
Yeah.
A movie or something, which is unfortunate, but it is how it is in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll change. I don't know. I mean, it depends on, this whole new wave of Star Wars and all the new fans and stuff, depending on what people want to see and demand, who knows what they'll do.
That's true. And then the other spinoff that I would be curious to see would be something kind of like what you said about Stormtroopers would be, I really like the Rebel Alliance. I'm really excited about Rebels specifically because it's focusing on the early sort of roots of the Rebel Alliance. I'm just really interested in that sort of power dynamic and how I'm interested in those politics. So I'd be really interested to see kind of, the origin of the Rogue Squadron and just everyone, all the characters that I love that I associate with the core of the Rebel Alliance. I would really like to see that, maybe Mon Mothma and just everyone, all those leaders. I'd like to see kind of their rise to power and everything. So yeah, those would be my spinoffs. And I don't know. I'm excited. I'm really antsy to see how they're going to handle having, a Star Wars film every year. That's going to be different because we're not used to that. We're used to these huge gaps. So there's going to be a lot for us to love. There's probably going to be some stuff, they can't make everyone happy. So there's going to be some things that come out and that we're just not going to like. And that'll be weird for us as fans because, when the prequels came out, I wasn't super stoked on them, but I still liked them. I don't hate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if there's something that's going to come out that I'm just going to be oh my God, I'm horrible. But
I don't know. It's gonna be just it. Like you said, it's gonna be weird having so much Star Wars constant. You know,
Yeah.
because once they start and it's every year, it really is. It's never. It's gonna be nonstop. You know, with everything, with stuff to talk about, with the merchandise, with leaks and rumors, with teasers, with all that stuff. It's just gonna be. It's gonna be overwhelming. I think, but in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, if you love Star Wars, it's Star Wars paradise. So I can't wait for that.
yeah, I mean, we're a pretty committed group, so
Yeah.
I think that everyone's gonna, stick around. Some fans might drop off. I feel like there were people who kind of admittedly dropped off, and I feel like I hear a lot of people saying that they were really alienated by the Clone Wars, which I don't think is fair. I don't think they gave it a fair shot then, if that's the case, just because, the show had a lot of depth, and I'm hoping that the way I know people who are also brought into the fandom by the Clone Wars, I'm hoping Rebels does that, and I hope Episode 7 does that, because you can never have enough fans. I mean, I'm always excited to meet new Star Wars fans, so I'm excited to, see who becomes, a new Star Wars fan from all this, so.
Yeah, the fandom is definitely ever changing and growing. I think it's growing more than it's shrinking, so that's good.
Speaking of fandom, we've actually, we're a baby show, Force Cults only. This is going to be our 3rd episode. Our website's been around for a month. We were both involved in Star Wars fandom kind of independently, so we both had different, I guess, experiences. My experience with fandom has always been really positive, I guess, because I've always used it to meet other nerd girls. With the exception of Amanda Ward from Making Star Wars.net, I don't have any girls in my life, friends who like Star Wars. So, I was always a big fan of, Force Girls on Instagram. That's how I've met a lot of other cool girls and gotten to connect with them about Star Wars and just, Twitter and stuff. But I feel like everyone's been really supportive and awesome about Force Cult and kind of seen what we were trying to do, and we've gotten some good feedback, some of it constructive, but we also hit the weird note that people think we swear too much. So that's kind of been our really, only negative feedback. And I don't really know what to say to that, except fuck, I guess. I don't know. What do you think, Ryan?
I don't know. I really didn't expect that from anybody, especially since this is 2014 and cussing is pretty much everywhere. It's all online. It's in movies and music, and even PG-13 movies have cussing in them. So, it was kind of confusing that, they were so offended by it. They were, very, very offended, taken aback by it. And, it was just, I didn't really know what to say to it. I responded, but, there's not really a place for that kind of conversation, on our show or for our show, because that's not why we do it. We're just two friends that love Star Wars making a show and having conversations. So, like you said, most people think we're cool and think the show is cool, and they how laid back we are, and I think there's room for everybody in this fandom. You don't have to try to segregate people and make them feel bad over something as common as cussing, because it's just like I said, it was so weird. I didn't expect it. I was expecting people to be like, oh, you fucking talk about Ewoks and I hate Ewoks, you're a loser, that kind of stuff. Which is fine, I'm told bring on the Ewok hate still. I'm still going to defend them. But we're not going to stop cussing, because we choose to cuss because we're adults and we can do that. So
I don't even choose to. I feel like it's just, it's how we talk. I don't know what to say. I'm a 26-year-old. I'm a waitress. I'm jaded as fuck. I don't know. So it happens, but it was just a weird reaction. I think the thing for me was I don't know, don't call me classless. I think classless is a way more loaded word than fuck, because it's judgmental, and you don't know someone's background, and I feel like that's kind of what's weirded me out the most about the internet in general, is that people are very, very quick to throw jabs and presume things about other people based on no experience with them, and that's just the internet. Trying to reason with YouTube comments is just not it's just not a thing. You can't do that. But it was just weird. I guess that was our first negative encounter, and it was off-putting and just a little strange, but I would say 99% of people have been really awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely not the majority of the feedback we got for the show. most people do not care. That's not what they got out of our show. They got us being awesome, because we are awesome. And I'm sorry that those few people who don't like our cussing are going to miss out on our awesomeness.
Yeah. Fuck. I don't know. now I'm just being bratty. I'm like, you told me I couldn't do something, so I'm gonna do it.
Well, anyways, let's wrap up. So, thanks for watching Force Cult again. And if you're offended by our cussing, I'm fucking sorry, but we're gonna cuss. You don't have to watch our show, but we want everybody who enjoys Star Wars to, check our show out at least. And hope you come back again. There will be more cussing. That's a warning right now, but there'll also be a lot more awesomeness. Thanks.